Okay, so I'm back to complaining about Pokemon again, and this time it's actually about Pokemon Violet slash Scarlet. And I know if you're thinking, Zakia, why are you talking about Pokemon Scarlet Violet when Legends EA is like already out by the time I post this? It's because while I'm recording this, it's not out yet, silly, and I will get to it when I get to it. And also because I'm recording this like a few days before it came out, I already saw the leaks, and I don't even know if I'm gonna like this game now. But I will get to Legends EA. But today is about Violet slash Scarlet, which I also know is a widely hated game, and it's overhated. This is a really good game, you guys, and I say this about every game, but it's a good game. If you saw my last Pokemon video about Pokemon Sword slash Shield, you would know that this is my second Pokemon game, and while I still don't know shit about the Pokemon universe, I'm happy to announce that of this video, I'm the Pokemon champion of both Galar and Paldea. Of course I am. Of course I am. I'm unbeatable. I'm unbeatable. And also, if you saw my Pokemon Sword slash Shield video, you know that I was playing Pokemon Ultra Sun, which I am still playing because I still have not beaten it, and it is beating me every day. It's beating me every day. It's testing my patience. It's testing my will to live. So right now I'm still only the champion in Galar and Paldea, soon to be a Lola. I swear, a Lola. Okay. But as of playing Pokemon Violet slash Scarlet, I was really excited as I was just the champion of Galar. I just got my champion cup, I was feeling on top of the world, and I was like, you know what, why don't I take this around the world? Let me go play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet to show the people of Paldea who the real champion is. Me. Because I've never lost a battle. Reminder, I've never once lost a single Pokemon battle in my life besides that one that does not count, and we are not going there. Fuck you, Mustard. I'm joking, I really do love Mustard from Pokemon Violet, but that battle does not count, and I will not be counting it. So if you ignore that, I am the champion, and I have never lost a battle, obviously. Just a disclaimer, I specifically played Pokemon Violet, and I also did not play any of the expansions or anything like that. I don't know anything about those expansions, so I'm not going to talk about it, obviously. I also played this game months ago, as it is currently taking me months to finish Pokemon Ultra Sun. But yes, I played Violet months ago, and I've grown from my moments in this game, but the game was really good, and I once again did not lose any battles. In case you forgot, in case I didn't mention it, I've never lost a battle, in case you were wondering. And also, once again, just like my Pokemon Sword video, this is a rant video. Nothing I say is rooted in fact, because I did not watch the show. I don't know the lore other than the lore I created myself, which is the lore. That's the canon lore, obviously. And I'll also not be accepting any criticism of any of my battling tactics, because I'm the champion in Galar and Paldea, and I don't need your 2 cents because I've never lost a battle. The first thing about Pokemon Violet that I was so excited about is I saw the character customization, and it was so good. I was like, oh my god, maybe I'll finally be Nessa from Pokemon Sword. Not that I'm still thinking about Nessa. I'm not still thinking about Nessa. I'm over the Nessa thing, you guys. I've let it go. I still don't care about her. But I thought, oh wow, like Game Freak is finally giving me this opportunity for me to look like the coolest person in the game, because that's what I'm supposed to be. If I'm the main character, I'm supposed to look like the coolest person in the game, obviously, which is something they did not get the hint in Pokemon Sword, and that's why they made Nessa to torture me. They made Nessa to torture me, but once I'm gonna stop talking about Pokemon Sword, because this isn't a Pokemon Sword video. This is a Pokemon Violet / Scarlet video, so I'm gonna stick to that. But I think this is just withdrawals, because when I started the game, I was kind of sad. I was like, oh my god, no Hop, which you guys know how I feel about Hop. But I was ecstatic that there was no more Bead, there was no more Opal, and there was no more Nessa. Not once again, I don't care about Nessa. Like I'm okay, guys. I'm not coping. I'm actually very okay about all of this. But anyway, I was really excited about the character customization, because I was like, finally, I get to show these Paldeans who the champion of Galar is. Right? And I was gonna walk up there, show everybody who the new Paldean champion is, who the new top champion is, which I'll get to the top champion shit, because I'm mad about it. But I was like, oh, I'm so ready. Until shock horror, imagine my surprise when I found out I'm a student in Pokemon school, and initially I was like, oh, that's cool, that's fun, and that's exciting. No. What's not fun and exciting is the fucking Yuva Academy uniform. And I was like, oh, the uniform's ugly, but this is gonna be okay because I'll just go to the shop, as I do, and find a new cute outfit. No, you can buy a hat, you can buy some shoes, and guess what? None of these accessories is gonna match your uniform because you can't change your uniform. I was disturbed. I was deeply disturbed because I was really ready to have my moment, like my real moment. And I couldn't have my moment. Oh, and you know how you can wear a hat? The hair that I got from the salon, they were like, oh, hats aren't compatible with this hairstyle. What? Why would you even give me the option to buy a hat? Then leave me alone. So the whole character customization thing fell really flat, and I was really angry about it. And that's one of my biggest drawbacks from this game, because I don't hate this game. I think this game is pretty perfect, but the uniform thing pissed me off. And if you're thinking, Sakya, if you want to play dress up, just go play Style Savvy or like The Sims. Guess what? I do play Style Savvy in The Sims. Could you tell? Is it bad to want stuff in a game if the previous game had that option? Like Pokemon Sword, I could dress however I want. Could I be Nessa? No. But I'm not talking about Nessa. Enough. Stop bringing it up. I'm not talking about her. I just wanted to look really cool in Paldia, and I couldn't do it. And that's my issue. So the first person we see is obviously our mother, never a father, because fathers don't exist in the Pokemon universe. Keep up, obviously. And it's our first day of school at Uva Academy. Who comes to greet you by your door at your house? The principal of Uva Academy, Director Clavel, also known as Clive. You sneaky boy. He's Clive. And I'll get to the Clive thing later because it's very silly, and it does make me giggle. It does really make me giggle. I like stupid shit like that, and Clive, Director Clavel, is some of the stupidest shit I've seen in a Pokemon game yet. Clive obviously gives you your starters because you need to have a starter to go to Pokemon school. Obviously, you're going to battle with no Pokemon. Be realistic. So he gives you the option between Sprigatito, the grass-type Pokemon, Fuecoco, the fire-type Pokemon, and Quaxly, the water Pokemon. And no questions, I also already mentioned it in the Pokemon Sword video, I obviously chose Sprigatito because I love cats. I do love cats, but it wasn't just that. I just like the spirit, I like the vibe, and I also googled that she turns into Meowscarada, who I care deeply about Meowscarada, and once again, there's a lot of slander about Meowscarada being like, oh, Sprigatito's so cute, Meowscarada's scary, Meowscarada's a freak. No, she isn't. She's actually cooler than you could ever dream a Pokemon could be. She's the coolest Pokemon. No, that's a lie. I was going to say she's the coolest Pokemon of all time, and she's not that. I'm sorry, Meowscarada, you are nothing of the sort. But that's also family. That's family, and only people who chose Sprigatito and loved Sprigatito from Meowscarada till even after Meowscarada, only they can talk bad about Meowscarada because that's home, girl. And I will support it till the day I die, obviously. I will never abandon a starter. And I do understand Fuecoco has a lot of fans. I know a lot of people who would die for Fuecoco. But listen, Sprigatito spoke to me. No hate to Quaxly. He's just a bit too diva for me. But later on when I battle Quaxly after he turns into Quavicle, I think that's what it's called, I am kind of like intimidated because I chose Meowscarada Sprigatito for the divaness. But Quavicle is just like so cunt. I hate to say it, the little samba that Quavicle does in battle is so fun, and I did kind of feel a bit attacked, but I also didn't choose Fuecoco because the previous Pokemon game I played was Pokemon Sword, and I chose Score Bunny in the last one, and I wanted to alternate. I wanted to have a starter of each kind through my playthroughs, and in Pokemon Ultra Sun I chose Poplio. Of course, I was trying to collect all three, do you know what I mean? Obviously Sprigatito was the obvious choice. I hate to say it, Sprigatito is the obvious choice. It is then that we meet maybe one of the loves of my life. We have a special connection that cannot be doubted by anybody. My homegirl, love of my life, Nemona. So Nemona is like the student president or whatever, I forget what it's called, but she's like a head student at the school, and she's actually considered to be one of the youngest champions ever, which I took that from her, rightfully so. But Nemona is here to help you on your journey. She's obviously like the rival. She's like, not the rival, but she's the person who starts the journey out with you, even though she's already a champion, so I don't know why she's restarting her journey, but like she's like half. Will she ever be Hop? No. But does she also have a special place in my heart like Hop did? 100%. Because let me tell you something about Nimona. Nimona is so excited to meet you. Do you know why? Because Nimona's love language is literally Pokemon battling, and you know his love language is Pokemon battling me. I love a good battle. Once again, has never lost the battle. Not to bring it up, not to toot my own horn. I never bring it up. I'm just actually really humble. But Nimona, she speaks to me on a spiritual level. Like the way Nimona feels about battles is how I feel about battles. Nimona wants to battle every 5 minutes, and so do I, and that's why I respect the shit out of her. That's my home girl. I think about Nimona all the time, obviously, because that's sister. Also, my girlfriend, probably. I don't know. You can decide. We just have that chemistry that is inexplainable. Do you know what I mean? But Nimona obviously picks the opposing Pokemon to use. Since I chose Sprigatito, which is a grass type, she chooses Quaxly, who is a water type. So obviously you beat her easily. But like I said, it's not because I beat her easily because it's an unfair battle. It's because I'm just really good at battling that I beat her easily. Obviously, it's what I do. After hanging out with Nimona for a bit, you both hear like a mysterious cry coming from the beach. You walk over to the beach. You see the giant dragon-looking ass thing. But because I was playing Pokemon Violet, it looks like futuristic and robotic. It's Miraidon, the legendary Pokemon Miraidon, but you obviously don't know that yet. And you end up helping Miraidon get out of some situation or whatever. And this is where you meet Arvin, my other boyfriend. Do I love him as much as Hop? No, I can't love anybody as much as Hop, obviously, except for Arvin's dad. But anyway, Arvin ends up giving Miraidon to you, which is kind of weird because Miraidon is technically his, but he just gives it to you, and I would never give away like a legendary Pokemon. And you later find out that Arvin was given Miraidon by his dad, who he has not seen in years, and he just gives it away, and that's a bit strange to me, but I would take Miraidon gladly. Miraidon is very cute, very, very, very cute. He's like a grown baby, and I just love Miraidon's stupid face so much. But he's not in a battling condition, so you use him as a vehicle for most of the game, which I don't mind. I love going places fast in games. I don't like walking at a normal speed. I like to sprint. I like to be zooming, okay? I have things to do, people to see, people to meet, you know. Afterwards, you need to make your way to Uva Academy for your actual first day of school, because once again, you're in school, and if you forgot that, just look at your ugly ass uniform and you'll instantly remember the reality of your dire situation. But you make your way to school, and Pokemon Violet / Scarlet is an open world Pokemon game, which I really liked. I know a lot of people hate it because they were like, the lag and the glitches are insane. Guys, grow up. Grow up. You can play around things. I can tell some of you have never played The Sims 3 and grew up on The Sims 3 because that game is glitchy as fuck, and I still enjoy it. It's my favorite game. You need to learn to enjoy games even if they're not perfect. Come on. However, if you're paying the price tag of these Pokemon games, I would also expect them to be glitch free because Nintendo, those prices are insane. I don't know what the fuck you're thinking, but
also I just want to say, while editing this, I realized that my Pokemon Violet opinions seem like I'm very much glazing the game, and it seems a bit tone deaf given the absolutely insane price of the game, considering especially that the Pokemon games you can only play once. There's no like multiple storylines. It's not like Minecraft or The Sims where you can play like an unlimited amount of times. It's going to be the same storyline every time, so that price is like actually ridiculous. So I just want to like let you guys know, when I'm talking about these Pokemon games, I'm not considering the price at all. I'm not even thinking about it, and I'm not saying anything, I'm not condoning anything, but I would never pay that much for a game, and I don't think anybody should either, especially to a big company like Nintendo that's clearly not interested in making the best games possible. I would never pay that much. I'm not saying anything, so yeah.
But yeah, since it's open world, there's multiple things I want to say. Number one, call me Champion Leon, because I'm getting lost everywhere. You get a map, but I'm also shit at following maps. So I get lost easily, and also can't follow maps. So I'm absolutely fucked on all dimensions. I got lost every day I played this game, and badly lost too. But I do like the open world thing because I like that you can like see Pokemon everywhere and catch whatever you want. And it's not like in Pokemon Ultra Sun where you just go through the grass and the random thing's gonna pop up. I don't like that. I like to see what I'm looking at. And in Pokemon Sword, obviously there was wild areas, but I like that that's wherever you go. there's Pokemon to catch, and it just seems like there's a lot more Pokemon in the world. It just feels like that. But this brings me to my next point. The start of Pokemon games is so rough because you don't have the team you want. You just stuck with the team that you find first. And like I said in my last video, I don't change my Pokemon team per battle. You will never catch me doing that. I'm very against that, because I just think my teams are strong enough to handle any battle. Also, I form a real connection to my team, and I will never swap them out. No way to the people who swap them out. I obviously see how that's a smart strategy, and maybe I should do that. And maybe I'll learn my lesson someday, but I still have not learned my lesson. Maybe Legends EA will bring me over to the side where I think I need to change my battles. But I'm not going to. I really love keeping the same team the entire time, which is why the start of the game is so rough, because it's like, I don't like any of your bitches except for my starter. Because once again, I will never put the starter in boxes. So I kept my Sprigatito Meowscarada till the end of the game, obviously, because I'm a good Pokemon trainer. But the other bitches that you meet at the start, it's like, guys, like, thank you for coming along with this ride, but like, you know that you're going to boxes within a few seconds. The second I find somebody cool, you're going to boxes. And also, Pokemon Violet ended up giving me my greatest team of all time. I don't like to compare my teams across the games. I think they all serve their purpose. Like, Pokemon Swords team is obviously really special to me because it was my first Pokemon game ever. It was my first team, and I felt really connected to them because of that. And it was just a really fun experience. Pokemon Ultra Sun that I'm playing right now, I genuinely do think it's my strongest team and most dynamic. Like, there's the most variety in it, and they can truly handle any battle that comes their way, even though I'm fighting for my life. Not the point though. Pokemon Violet has my favorite team. Like, if I had to stick to one team for the rest of my life, even if they're not that dynamic, this is going to be my team. And this is because this team happens to have some of my favorite Pokemon of all time, like genuine my all-time favorite. So I'm going to list them now, obviously, because you need to know. So my team consisted of Meowscarada, Sneasel, Vaporeon, Embryon, and then my top 2 favorite Pokemon of all time, like this is my genuine top 2 across all games and whatever, Tinkaton. Yes, I had a Tinkaton, you guys. She was amazing. I think about her all the time. And then possibly my number 1 Pokemon of all time, Sylveon. You can tell it's a very EV heavy team, but I love Sylveon. Sylveon's my favorite Pokemon. I love Sylveon so much that I have a Sylveon keychain. I also have this Sylveon Funko Pop, which my boyfriend got me, and it's the only reason I'm still with him. So I just want to show this off. How cool is it? I love Sylveon so much. And just some life advice with Zakia. If you are with somebody that does not buy you a Sylveon Funko Pop, you should leave them, because that's what relationships are about. Sylveon. Everything is about Sylveon. Like, when I die, if I get the Pokemon team in heaven, I need Tinkaton and Sylveon on me. Like, these are my genuine home goals. This team is so perfect. Also, 2 other evolutions in the team. I mean, come on. How does it get any better than that? But obviously, I get my team a lot later in the game. Earlier on, one of my main key members of the team who does end up getting put in boxes was Luxio, which really carried me through a lot. But my end team was perfect. The middle team, you know. But obviously they come a lot later. I'm still explaining the start of the game. So when you first get to Uva Academy, you see these 2 grunts, the Team Star grunts, and they're bullying this girl Penny. And I'm going to talk about Penny in a bit, but basically they just like the opposing team, like the rival team in all of the Pokemon games. So this is Team Star, and they're really annoying, but I do like how whenever they leave, they say Hasta la vista. That really makes me giggle. That's also another. This game is just very silly at times, and I really appreciate the silliness. I love a good giggle, okay? But they were bullying Penny with her Eevee backpack, and her. By the way, she has an all evolution team, which kind of irks me because, like, girl, leave that for the big leagues. Do you know what I mean? But Penny's being bullied, and she's a very I don't know how to explain. She's very. No, I hope you get what I mean by that. She's very I don't like Penny. I hope you get that from my vibe. I just don't like Penny. She irks my soul. But we do end up having to deal with her a lot more in a bit, which I'll explain when I get there. After the Team Star battle, Nimona then comes to you and she's like, listen, I know I have to make your battling better, baby girl. She doesn't say that, but like that's the way I heard it, obviously, because that's the thing. If the other people played this game, they would not get the connection me and Nimona have, which we obviously have a special connection that you people wouldn't understand. So she gives me this Terra Orb, which allows your Pokemon to terrestrialize, which is like the big power of this Pokemon game, like in the last one, Dynamaxing. But this is terrestrializing, and I like terrestrializing a lot. I like shiny things. I like seeing my Pokemon become shiny things. It's really fun for me, and I had a good time. Okay, that's just one thing I want to say about this game. I had a really good time. I'm sure you can tell I had a good time. After this director Clavel, aka Clive, who we'll meet later, calls you into his office because he's like, we need to talk to you about something. And he turns on the TV, and it's this fine man, this really fine man. His name is Professor Turo. I have I have goosebumps right now thinking about Professor Turo. Words cannot describe how I feel about this man. I will show you a picture, obviously. I don't have much to say about him except for the fact he's like, listen, I hear you got Miraidon from my son Arvin. Yikes. Who do I choose between Arvin and his dad? Obviously his dad, no way to Arvin. But actually on a side tangent, I like Arvin a lot, but I think what intimidated me about Arvin is that he has better hair than me, and I think that's what kind of set me off. And in another circumstance, maybe we would have been in game, but I just really like his dad. I hate to say that I really like his dad, Professor Turo. But Professor Turo is like, oh, I heard you have Miraidon now. Please look out for Miraidon because Miraidon's very badly injured and he needs rest. So take care of him and maybe he'll get his health back up and can do more things, which is exactly what happened. So I was like, oh my god, anything for you, Professor Turo. Like, you don't even need to ask me twice. I'll drop out of school right now if you want me to. You just give me the word, I'll do whatever. You know what I mean? So I obviously took Miraidon in. We could have a little family. Director Clavel then makes an announcement to the whole school that like the entire syllabus for the year is that they must all leave Yuva Academy and find a treasure of their own, which this is a crazy academic plan. Like, you can take actual classes at the school, but I barely did that because like I didn't see any purpose in doing that. But they basically just want you to go out and find something that's like important to you, I guess. I need to know the Board of Basic Education because the school ranges from like preschool to like 18 years old. So I need to know who's signing off on this because I don't think this is a very constructive plan. You have like 5-year-olds roaming out in the wild. Like, some Pokemon are very aggressive. Like, stuff could happen to those babies. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, the game actually starts now and there's 3 different paths that you unfortunately have to do all of them. You unfortunately need to do all of them, and I wish you only have to do 2. Basically, the 3 storylines are Victory Road, which is like becoming a champion with Nemona. And then there's the Getting Herba Mystica with Arvin, which is the Path of Legends. And then there's Operation Starfall with Penny. I hate Operation Star. Actually, I don't hate Operation Starfall. I just hate Penny. And I wish you wasn't in the game. I do. Since my first game was Pokemon Sword/Shield, I was really overwhelmed by not only the open world but also the 3 different storylines. Like, I felt like there was a lot to juggle because Pokemon Sword/Shield is a very linear storyline. There's one way it can go and you just do that one thing and then you're done, which I like that because it was my first game. So this one was like kind of crazy, but I did really grow to love this because I just felt like I was doing something all the time. Like, it wasn't like I was just working towards nothing. It always felt like there was something to do, which I really like that. I like to keep busy, but I think where it falls flat is I feel like I couldn't really fully connect to each storyline because there was so much going on. I couldn't get really invested, and obviously the game doesn't let you get fully invested in any of them because there's so much going on. Do you know what I mean? So I felt like storyline wise I was more invested in Sword/Shield, but gameplay wise, definitely no doubt Pokemon Violet/Scarlet. It's so good gameplay wise, and all of the different paths are completely different gameplay styles. So with Nemona, it's the traditional champion battles, which I obviously enjoy. Me and my girlfriend Nemona, we really understand battling. I obviously understand battling as I'm the champion, duh. And I had a really good time with that. So Arvin's path is a completely different storyline. I don't know why he asked your help because he really knows you, but you really grow close to Arvin. Like, that's homeboy, do you know what I mean? That's like my best friend Arvin. My best friend Arvin and my girlfriend Nemona, you know what I mean? And I'm also dating Arvin's dad. So Arvin's whole thing is he asked for your help to go and fight these titans because there's these giant Pokemon called Titans, and they are protecting Herba Mystica, which is like these really powerful herbs that you can feed to Pokemon, and I think you can eat it yourself. I'm pretty sure. And it just makes your Pokemon really strong. And the sad part is Arvin's doing this because he has this Pokemon Mabastiff, who is really cute but also really sick. And there's nothing worse than having a sick pet and you can't do anything about it. But Arvin, he does something about it, and he heals Mabastiff back to health by the end of the game. And it's just a really sweet moment. I do enjoy the Arvin storyline. Obviously, storyline gets deeper with time, but the Titan battles were really fun. Specifically, the Dragon Titan, which I believe was the last one I did. The Dragon Titan was by far the best Titan battle because it's so bizarre and it's not what I was thinking at all. Basically, you must go to this island or whatever. You look into the Titan, you don't see a Titan. And you think this big fish, I forget what this Pokemon is called. I'll put the picture here. You think it's this, but no, it's actually a Tatsugiri, which is one of the cutest Pokemon ever. And I know it's like a deceiving Pokemon, and it's actually a dragon, which is crazy, but I love Tatsugiri, and it was just a super fun battle. I really enjoy it, and I've been a fan of Tatsugiri ever since. You know what I mean? Like, there's something so silly about it. That's what I'm saying. This is one of the silliest Pokemon games ever, and I really respect it. Operation Starfall with Penny is also a different storyline where basically a anonymous voice that hacks your phone named Cassiopeia wants your help to take down Team Star because they're causing shit, and Team Star has also stopped going to their classes, so the school is obviously concerned about them, which is where you meet Clive. Clive is obviously Director level. It's obviously a grown man wearing a schoolboy's uniform, which is very strange, but he pretends to be young and hip with the kids. He's just one of the pals, and he says he's here to help you because obviously, as the principal of the school, he wants these kids to come back to school and he wants to figure out what's causing all of these issues, so he's obviously here to help you. But my favorite part of the game, genuinely my favorite part of the game, is every time you see Clive, he's like, oh, hey Zakia, what's going on? And then you get the option to either say Clive or Director Clavel. So I always say Director Clavel because he's obviously Director Clavel. And every time you say Director Clavel, he's like, what? Like, who even? The principal? I'm Clive. I'm a young boy Clive. I'm young and hip. I'm Clive. And it's really silly. And when he takes off his disguise by the end of the game and he's like, I have something to tell you. I've been Director level all along. You can be like, well, yeah, I thought we all knew that. And he was like, what? Like, I really thought I was doing so good. And it's like, no. Everybody in this game is terrible at keeping secrets because Cassiopeia, the anonymous voice, is obviously Penny. And he's obviously the big boss of Team Star. Because basically, the main leaders of Team Star, there's like 5 of them, I think. They were kids, well, you find this out later. They were kids that were bullied in Yuva Academy. So they formed this whole thing as a protection thing, but they ended up going off the rails and they like stopped going to classes and whatever. And they had a big boss that they never met that formed this whole group. Once again, they don't know who the big boss is. They just call him the big boss, but the big boss is obviously Cassiopeia, who is obviously Penny. You know this because they always say the same shit, and they always like if Cassiopeia calls you, Penny's going to be around the corner. Trust she is. And I don't even know how Penny organized this because the game tries to portray Penny as a genius, but is she that smart or is she just annoying? She's just annoying. And I really don't like Penny because not only is Penny annoying, she's also a snotty brat and she complains about everything. But what is she really doing this entire time? Nothing. You are helping her. And she does nothing to help you. She really does nothing to help you. She pays you back in like points, but like what is she actually doing? Absolutely jack shit. You are doing everything for this girl and she still tries to battle you in the end, and it's like, Penny, you have watched me demolish your entire team because I obviously demolished the entirety of Team Star, and you still want to come step to me. Penny, leave me alone. Clive as well pisses me off because Clive says, no, I'm here to help you, but he just stands on the side when you battle. But about these Team Star battles, I love the Team Star battles. Basically how it works is you need to first raid the Team Star base because each Team Star member had their own base, and you basically send out 3 of your Pokemon and they will just fight for you. Fight in a field, and you need to defeat 30 Pokemon in 10 minutes. and it's just so fun. As much as I love battling, like, you know, the champion league and all of that, because I'm the champion, it's just fun to see your Pokemon just roam wildly and fight for themselves. Like, that's really cool and awesome. I had a really good time doing that. And then you take them on one-on-one, and those battles are also really fun. They are kind of difficult because, once again, I don't change my team, so it's not perfectly optimized for each one, but it's still really fun and I really enjoy it. At the end of Operation Starfall, after you like defeat that whole storyline, it comes out that Penny was just trying to bring them all together so that they can disband because they need to go back to school. They can't keep doing this, you know what I mean? And Director Clavel says, oh, no more bullying. That's like so over. Don't worry about it. Just come back to school. And that's how that thing ends. Arven's storyline ends with the main storyline, which I'll get to that. But back on Nemona's thing, she and me are just doing the Champion Cup thing, like Pokemon Sword, and I obviously make my way through it with ease. One thing I would like to point out is the first gym, the bug gym. Katie, the bug gym leader, I don't know why this battle was so ridiculously hard for no reason. It's the first battle, and I don't know if it's like my Pokemon were too weak of a level at this point because it was the first battle. But everybody who I spoke to who has played this game says that they also struggled with the bug gym. I don't know why the bug gym had me on my knees. It was really bad, but I obviously won. And after that moment, I didn't struggle with any of the gym leaders. But what I would like to say is, Paldea is so pretty. Every town in Paldea is just magnificent. It's amazing, and I love the design for all of them. But no gym leader stood out to me in this game like Nessa from Pokemon Sword. Not to bring up Nessa. Once again, I don't care about Nessa, and I'm gonna stop talking about it. I'm sorry if this video is all over the place, but to be honest, Pokemon Violet / Scarlet is all over the place because of the 3 different storylines, so that's why I'm explaining it like this, because I'm just explaining it the way it went down, you know. But obviously, after you beat Nemona's like victory road, you battle against Nemona one last time, which guys, don't even ask the question. You know I won. You know I won. So then you go into the Elite Four, and I have one question about the Elite Four, because the Elite Four is supposed to be like the top 4 challengers / trainers, whatever, in Paldea. And one of them is Poppy, who is a toddler, which Poppy was pretty powerful, and she's so cute. She's such a cute baby. But she's a baby. And I just don't know how that works, because I thought like you need to be a certain age to start becoming a trainer, because that's the way they imply it in most games, like, oh, you finally have age to become a trainer. So how is Poppy as like a literal like 4-year-old doing all of that? I don't understand. But I obviously beat all of those battles, and it was a good time. It's always a good time when you are the champion of Galar and Paldea. But here's another problem. You go and battle Geeta. Geeta is the top champion. She's the head of the Elite Four, and she's just the top champion because she is the top champion. The thing is, I beat Geeta multiple times, I believe. So would that not make me the top champion? That's what I thought, because if you beat the top champion, you would then become the top champion, right? But no, after I beat her on multiple occasions, everybody keeps on calling Geeta the top champion. Why? Why? I'm the top champion. Stop calling me champion, Zakia, and stop calling me top champion, Zakia. Because if that's the way it should work, I don't know if I can't even be missing anything, because that's just how titles work. If you're the best in something and you get beat, you are no longer the best. I'm the best. Nintendo, I'm the top champion. You have a mistake in your game. Please change it. I'm the top champion, and I would like to be referred to as the top champion. This doesn't bother me. It just bothers me, you know? Back to the main storyline though, Professor Turo then tells us, me and Arven, that we need to go to Area Zero. And I'd just like to say, Arven is Professor Turo's son, but Arven has not spoken to his dad in years, because he hasn't seen his dad in years. And if Professor Turo, which I'll get to the Professor Turo thing in a second, if Professor Turo can talk to me, why wasn't he spending this time talking to Arven for years? And I'm going to explain the Professor Turo thing now, but they still could have done this. I don't know why Arven had to like grow up without a father. I just don't understand that. And I know in Pokemon Scarlet he grows up without his mother. This was very unnecessary. But we have to go to Area Zero, which is this crater in the middle of Paldea. Super dangerous. They say the Pokemon there are absolute menaces, which they aren't really, but there's some really cool Pokemon there. And you go down there and they say you have to bring other people with, because it's not safe. So I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to pull up with my squad. It's going to be me, Arven, and Nemona. And for a second, it could have been that. But then I hear an agitating voice. I turn around, who's there? Penny. Penny's like, oh no, Arvin asked me to come with Arvin. Buddy, you are my best friend. You know, we talk shit about Penny all the time. How could you, like, bring my off with you? Why would you bring my off with? Oh my god. So now Penny's there. And she complains the entire time. Nobody begged you to come. Go home, Penny. You're killing the vibes. Like, my girlfriend, Nimona, she is so excited to be there and like see all of this Pokemon. She's thinking about the battling potential, and that's why I fuck with Nimona heavy, because I was thinking the same thing. But we just trying to have a good time, and Penny's tagging along like, oh, the trio within like the group of friends, like we're the trio. She's not a part of us, you know what I mean? What I do enjoy about this Area Zero section is all of your friends, besides Penny, are together for like the first time, and Arvin and Nimona fight about who is closer to me, which I love when people fight over me, like, guys, stop. But yeah, no, they fight over who's your best friend, and it's like, guys, both of you are my best friend. And I know I call Nimona my girlfriend, but she's not actually my girlfriend because I'm devoted to Professor Turo, obviously. But they fight over who's your best friend, and that's just a really good time. And Penny's there complaining, bitching, and moaning. But I would also like to say about Area Zero, I got so lost. I had to look up tutorials and walkthroughs to just make it through. I don't know why this was so confusing to me, but I was in the trenches. I was like pacing around my room like in real life. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing, and it took me actually a while to finish this. But basically, here's the real storyline. Professor Turo, who's been talking to you this entire time, is not the real Professor Turo, because the real Professor Turo was studying Pokemon of the future, and he found a way to bring Pokemon of the future back to the current day, which is that's so ridiculous and not careful or safe at all. And like, if me and Professor Turo were actually together, I would have told him, stop, you don't know what you're doing, you know. I would have been like, this isn't you know what I mean? But I wasn't there. So he ended up getting killed, or he died because of this research. So Arvin hasn't spoken to his dad in years because his dad's dead. But who's been talking to you is like an AI robot version of Professor Turo that he created. Don't actually know why he created him, but if the AI can talk to us, the AI can talk to Arvin too and explain this to Arvin. Because what ends up happening is the AI Turo ends up telling you, listen, you need to defeat me and all of the Pokemon here to shut the shit down, because this isn't safe. Because the AI is like woke now, and the AI is like, nah, I don't fuck with this, so please help me, because I can't do it, because I'm the safety switch. And it was so scary for me to be face to face beating the love of my life up, which was really bad. But do you know what was even more bad? Arvin having to find out in front of his best friend, me, and a bunch of these strangers, being Nimona and Penny, that his dad is dead. I don't know why the AI couldn't contact him and tell him this directly years ago, months ago. I don't know how long it's been, but he deserved to know in like the comfort and privacy of his own home. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know why they did that. But you end up beating Professor Turo, and the battle is really cool. Actually, it was kind of scary. Pokemon games can get a bit scary, like if you are a baby like me, like fighting Eternatus in Pokemon Sword, and fighting Turo in this one, he looks a bit scary, you know, but I obviously demolished. And then a different Miraidon, a stronger Miraidon, comes to battle, and you can only use your Miraidon who's finally strong enough to battle that Miraidon, and you obviously win, and it's really fun. I found out that there's no way to lose that battle. Like, it's just a game mechanic, you will always win that final battle, which I don't like. I would like to have given the fair chance of battling, not that I would have ever lost anyway, but I would like to have a fair chance, do you know what I mean? After this, it ends with a really cute cutscene with you and all of your friends, plus Penny. Wish I could Photoshop Penny out of all of those pictures that I took. But where you and your friends, you just make your journey back and you just completed a fun adventure. It's really fun and cute. And I like that cinematic stuff, you know. I wish there was something like that in Pokemon Sword. In all of the Pokemon games, I just like how movie-like it felt. It made me feel really important, and I obviously like being really important. So it just felt good. Like, oh, I just saved the world with my friends. I'm also the champion of Paldea. I'm also the top champion. Sorry, Geeta. And I'm also the champion of Gallo. And it just felt really good. You know what I mean? So that's technically the end of the game. Like, the end of the game. But Pokemon games have post games, and I ranted in my last video about how much I loved the Pokemon Sword endgame, and I was so excited for this one. The Pokemon Violet in-game sucks. It sucks so bad. I was so looking forward to this until I find out that it's just Gita just sends you around to all of the other gyms to do her admin work for her. She basically tells you need to battle all of the past gym leaders to see if they're still qualified to be the head of the gym. And it's like, girl, this is your job. But what she's doing in the meantime is Nimona had this great idea to do like a battle cup for the school to see who's the best Pokemon trainer in the school. So Gita's helping Nimona with that, which just irks me. It just irks me that I was waiting for this in-game the entire time, and the in-game is just a rapid fire of the original game. And the end of game champion cup battle with Nimona, it was just so mid. Like, I was looking forward to some silly storyline because this game was so silly, so I was expecting something really funny like Swordward and Shieldbird, but it wasn't that. It was really disappointing, and I hate to end the video on such a disappointing note, but the end game was disappointing. It just was, and that's like my main critique of this game, that the end game was disappointing. Yes, the game had glitches, I'm not stupid, but it also was not that serious at all. It was genuinely really fun, and I really enjoyed the gameplay, like I said. And yes, people said it was easy, but sometimes I like an easy time. Sometimes I like a really easy time. And I wish I could go back to this because I'm still getting my ass handed to me in Alola, and I will probably be getting my ass handed to me in Alola for the foreseeable future because I'm struggling. I'm really struggling. But this was a really good time, and it once again gave me one of the best teams of all time with my Sylveon. My Sylveon. Do you have a Sylveon Funko Pop? Yeah, I do actually. I do. Look at that. Yeah. So yeah, I did love Pokemon Violet a lot, as you could tell from this video. And I don't want to hear any more Pokemon Violet and Sword Slander. These are decent games, you guys. Like, I understand that probably compared to the older games, this is kind of shit. But like, I'm having a good time. And sometimes it's okay to enjoy things that aren't perfect, you know? And my next Pokemon video is probably either going to be about Legend CA or Ultra Sun. It depends which one I beat first, because Ultra Sun I'm definitely not beating anytime soon, and Legend CA didn't come out yet, so I don't know when that's going to happen. But yeah, I will see you next time, which is probably not going to be about Pokemon. It's probably going to be something else, and in a month I'll do another Pokemon video. But so I don't know when I'm going to see you again. But bye!